So what's up, y'all? It's Carla, aka Cla the Poet. How y'all doing? Happy Monday night. I decided to do a live on a very interesting subject. So I'm a person that struggles with philophobia. Philophobia is the fear of falling in love. I go to therapy for it. More than likely, I know it's because of my traumas, because I went through domestic violence. And I have had boyfriends in the past. I have had a couple of relationships, but it never really works out, for different reasons. It's not always that, the guy was the problem or whatever. Sometimes we had different lifestyles and stuff like that, and it just wasn't going to work. But so right now, because I'm single, I'm taking this time to just kind of figure myself out and do some inner work and some inner healing, and just try to figure things out and analyze some things in my life, and reflect. And so I have a question. Shouldn't you know why you like someone? For me, because I am pretty logical, I need a logical reason why I like someone. It has to make sense to me why I like somebody, and I should know the reasons and be able to list out why I like someone. But what I'm finding is that you know, even though I'm older, and I'm an adult, sometimes I still get crushes on people. And to me, it doesn't make sense, because it's like, now that I'm older, I figure, like, we're no longer kids, and we're not in high school, and we're not in kindergarten. So, like, we shouldn't still be like crushing on people. It should be deeper, like why we like somebody, or why you have an attraction to that person. So I ask you, the audience who watches this question, and for you to give me feedback. Is it all as simple as just being biological, like biologically wired, or just to be sexually attracted or physically attracted to somebody? Is that what the main thing is really about? Because the difference between us and animals is the ability to reason. And so I figure we should be able to have reasons for why, we gravitate towards someone, or we like someone. So sometimes when I realize I might have a crush on someone, or I'm crushing, I just feel like it's not safe, and it doesn't make sense to me why, because I should have a reason why I like this person, right? There should be some concrete reasons why I like this person. So I made a list of some things, like why you should like a person, like shared values, things in common, nice appearance, body, physical attraction, a good character, like somebody who makes you feel safe, and you can have good communication, common goals, personality. Are you two going in the same direction? Do you want the same things? So this attraction thing, it just seems to be very complicated, especially when you're attracted sometimes to more than one person at a time, because in my life that has happened before, where I've been attracted to more than one person at one time. But how do you figure it out? Because for me, it's just not enough for me to be having like all these feelings and stuff. Like, because I'm a lot, like I said, logically minded, I try to analyze things and figure things out. And so this is just something that I'm trying to figure out. Because sometimes it's like I said, you end up having strong feelings for someone, or you end up liking that person, or you realize that you have a crush on the person. You think about the person all the time, you daydream about them, you fantasize about them, you dream about them. And if it's somebody that you doesn't fit your preferences, right? Like it's not like the type of person that you normally would date, like he's not normally the type, then it just doesn't make sense. Like for instance, I'm goth, and most of my boyfriends have been normals, people that are considered non-goth or normals, right? I've never dated a goth guy. I've always dated normal people, right? And sometimes I wonder, would the best type of person to date be somebody who's goth? Or back in the day when I was heavily in the church, they used to teach us you should date somebody that's in the church, but what I found is that some of the dudes that's in the church, you don't have that much in common with them, or they also have a type and you don't fit their type because you're not the stereotypical Christianese type of person, right? So I'm just trying to figure out, like I said, feelings, and just trying to figure out, when you have a crush on somebody, you really like somebody, and you can't really pinpoint why you like that person. It doesn't make sense. It just seems so, above. Like, I feel like I'm too old to be having crushes on people, right? So I'm just trying to like I said, figure things out. And so I'm going to, the internet audience to see what it is that they think about attraction, crushes, what type of person that you should date. I'm not saying that I always have to date my preference, right? Because I don't want a clone of me. I don't want a clone. Like, a person should be an individual, just like I am. And I wouldn't hold that against them because they're an individual. Who knows? I might be able to learn something, and they might be able to learn something from me. But, there's just all of these self-help people and dating coaches that say, opposites, you shouldn't like be with somebody who's the opposite. So like I said, these are just some of my thoughts. What do you guys think? Peace.